What's up, guys? Hope everyone is doing well and staying safe during this pandemic and from the coronavirus. But we're back out here working on the trailer. We're making great progress so far, but we still have a lot to do. But we are getting really close to having the frame ready to paint. So today, I'm just going to try to grind down some of the old weld spots, like this and that one on both sides, and like where the frame was boxed in at, and then get this old piece cut off. I was just checking this piece of rectangular tube that we found, but it's not going to be quite tall enough to replace that. So I'm just going to get a new piece of angle iron to replace it, so that won't be a big deal. But anyway, so just trying to get, like, you know, this ground down and all the stuff, you know, under it. And you may see something in the background there. So I've been searching for a while, really ever since I first started working on the trailer, to find new front mounts for the leaf springs. And I found one, which I ordered and got, but since I've been searching to try to find another one for it, and then, you know, as you know, I'm doing this to try to put leaf springs back on it to make it functional. Well, I found a rear end that came out of a running and driving 51 Chevy truck that had the rear end leaf springs and the front mounts on it. So this past weekend, I made the 4.5-hour trip to Kentucky to go pick it up, and I am so excited to have this. And one, that we have both mounts, which are in good condition, both leaf springs, and the bushings and stuff are in good shape as well. So that's really exciting that I was able to find this and get it. So I don't need the rear end, but I'll sell that to, you know, recoup some of the money and try to offset the costs. And then I'll be able to sell the one of the back mount that I already got. But I'm really excited to have this, and it'll really save a lot of work and time. Trying to find, you know, parts that fit, going to a junkyard to try to, you know, find a leaf spring that's the right length. And especially trying to find another one of the mounts, because I know that's going to be hard, or would be hard to do, because I've been trying. So I'm really excited to get that. So along with that today, and, you know, cleaning these up, going to cut off the old leaf spring mounts and the shock mounts. So I did just get new shock mounts ordered, and then for the leaf springs I got new shackles, I got axle seats. So got some of that stuff ordered and on the way, just so when we do get to that part, I'll have it here and just be able to, you know, throw it on, put it together, and not have to wait on that. So I'm really excited to have that. And I know it's going to be a huge difference when once we get this on with the axle and everything. It's going to actually make the trailer usable. So anyways, enough talking. I'm going to start getting to work on this. I know I've been grinding a lot lately, but, you know, I'm going to have a little bit more to do. And that's kind of a, you know, through this project, it's kind of been a little boring, you know, a lot of grinding and, you know, just odd this and that work. But I've really been wanting to try to show the whole process of it. And just, you know, whether it's exciting or not, just so you can understand, you know, all the work that's going into it and the process that I'm going through to get to the, you know, end goal. But just a little story on that, you know, just trying to show the whole process and all the work that goes into it. And, you know, maybe it's long, but it is what it is. So let's get started on the work. Alrighty, this side is done. Got that all cleaned up, nice and smooth. And got this back piece cut off. Under parts of it aren't too bad. So now let's move on to the other side. This side is now done as well. So we got a pretty good cut right here that I will patch up with the welder. But other than that, not too bad. Got that clean. Got this backside cleaned up. Now I'm just going to take and cut this piece off. So it's just welded on both sides of it, on both sides on the frame. All right, there we go. Got this nasty piece off of it. Now I can just clean up those welds right there and we'll be good to go. Now that we have those welds cleaned up, I'm going to work on trying to straighten this up, and I'm just going to cut this out altogether. But I'm just going to try to make this a little bit straighter line, and I'm not exactly sure how. I guess I'm not even going to bother with this section, but I'm still working out what I want to do in terms of fixing these holes and patching this up. So I've got one there, and then all of this right here is pretty bad. So I'm still working that out in my head, trying to decide what to do. But until I get there, I'm just going to try to straighten this edge up some. Try to make it look a lot better. So I had already planned on taking this bumper off. It'd just be easier to clean it up and paint it. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do it because there's a little lip on the inside of this, because this was two pieces of steel, so one coming up here, and then of course the bed that was welded to it. So since I cut that off, there's a little bit of a lip right there, as you can kind of see down it. So if I take this off and lay it down, it'll be a lot easier to just put the grinder up against it and go over that lip. So I'm now going to try to take this off. All right, I have my ratchet and my pipe, so we'll see how this works. And it looks like I'm just turning the bolt on the inside of it. So I'm gonna go grab a wrench real quick and put on it. All right, so I have my ratchet on there. So now, let's give this another shot. My goodness. ratchet just fell off from the inside, but you can see right there we have a gap, so it's coming loose. So now we'll just keep trying all the way around. All right, we got that one coming loose too. So now we'll just get the other side starting to come loose, and then that'll be it for today. So I'll be back on this tomorrow, and going to get the bumper completely off, so got to leave now, but we'll pick it right back up. And it is the next day, so I'm ready to jump back on this bumper and get it off. Well, that one just broke. That's to be expected though. Oh, there we go. That one just broke. That one broke too. Now, we should be able to just pull this bumper right off. All right, now we can just pull this bumper right off. There we go. So now we should just be able to set it up and run our grinding wheel right along the edge of that to knock it off. And here we are. So we can take a look down that back. That's pretty good. And just hit the top of it just to make sure it's not super sharp. So now next, we're going to head and remove these. So we're just going to have to grind off these so we can pop them off on both sides. So we'll do the leaf spring mounts, and also we need to get rid of the shock mounts. So we'll get rid of those two things. And now that they're ground down, I'm just going to try to drill them out. All right, now that we got these drilled through, I'm just going to see if I can beat this off. I'll just try to hit under the bottom of it. Well, it seems like it's rested on there pretty good. So, just going to have to keep trying and see what I can do to get it off. Actually, guys, I just realized why it's not coming off is there are two more. One right there, and then one, well, that one over here is actually, looks like it's rusted off, but we still have two more to get out before it'll actually come out. So I'm going to work on that now. All right, so I think we're close to getting it off. What I had to do is come back, well, I ground down the ones on the bottom and did drill through this one right here because I couldn't get to the top one, and then I went through these again with a larger drill bit, and then I was able to take this piece of all thread and punch them out. So now I'm just going to try to beat this down and hopefully separate the two bottom ones. So this top part is definitely loose. Now I just have to get it down. I'm making a little bit of progress. I got a little bit of separation over on this side. There we go. There we go. Golly. So, just take a look at this right here. So, that was just what I'm trying to get out, and you can see it's not even broken loose. So I'm just going to try and go ahead and try to punch it out from this side, see if I can. But, well, there's the old mount. So I missed a hole a little bit there, but I didn't scuff it up too bad. That'll still clean up nice and can be used in some other project of mine. Whew, well, I don't really look forward to doing that to the other side. That was was a lot harder than I expected. But I'm just going to basically try to do the same thing. Probably just grind these down and then drill it. I'll probably try to use the bigger bit first, just so I don't have to do it twice. Drill it, and then I guess I just had to climb under here and grind these bottom ones. Had to grind these down, and then was just able to get a drill on this one. So I guess I'm just gonna have to do that same thing on the other one. It's not gonna be fun, but I mean, it is what it is. So basically, now the shock mount shouldn't be too bad. I'll just grind these down and punch them out. So now I'm gonna get on that. And there we have it. We got this plate off. So that one wasn't too bad. Just took the drill to it and then pried it off. But now I'm gonna have to go do the same exact thing to the other side, but I will spare you of that, and I'll pick it back up with you when I have both of those off on that other side. And we're done on this side. So we got this one off, leaf spring mount, and then the upper shock mount. So both of those off. It was about just as hard as the last side, but not quite, just because I knew what I was doing. But, you know, it was still difficult. So the last thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and cut this jack off. So we did tear it up. I don't know that it was working previously, but when we were pulling it up here, the jack did fall down and grab the ground, so it just twisted this bracket off. So now I'm just going to take and cut this off, and I'll just replace it with a new one. I thought about trying to find an old style jack like this, but I think it'd just be best for the whole build just to get a new one and to use a new style. So more modern, make it easier. But yep, I'm going to cut this off now. All right, well, that was messy, but I just beat the bracket to get this out. Now I'm probably just going to beat it down just to try to get room to cut it off. Oh, there we go. Now I can just take the grinding wheel and clean this stuff up. There we have it. That mount is gone. So we got a lot accomplished in this one. Let me see if I can clean off the lens a little bit. We got a lot accomplished in this one. May not seem like there's a lot of progress, but the stuff that we did do is really big towards getting this frame ready to paint. So really getting those mounts off and getting the bumper off, trying to clean that up, and then finally getting this front jack part cut off of it. Really, you know, it's a lot of progress towards getting this thing finished, and it was a lot of work, let me tell you that. But I'm happy to have it done, and I think on the next one we are going to be prepping to get this thing painted and get it painted in the next video. So that's what I'm shooting for, is to have this thing cleaned up, sandblasted, and painted in the next one. So stick around for that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with all your friends, And look, don't be afraid to tackle a project like this. It may seem overwhelming, and I mean, let me tell you, I'm a little bit overwhelmed, but it's a great way to learn and a great way to grow. So don't be afraid to whatever project it is, doesn't matter what it is, don't be afraid to tackle it. Jump into it and learn as you go. So I'll see you in the next one.